Title IX was created to protect biological sex. I believe allowing these biological males into the female bathroom could allow bad things to happen. For example, if a male student comes into the female bathroom saying they're trans with bad into locker rooms and bathrooms. Thank you.
My name's Addie. I'm also a ninth grader at Mount Pleasant High School. A few weeks ago, my best friend encountered a male in the female's restroom. It was a very unsettling and confusing situation for her. She told teachers, but nothing. They did nothing. Many friends, parents, and even teachers have gone to the principal and even the school board, and they've done nothing. This is not about hate. This is not about hate, and this is not about offending anyone. This is about protecting boundaries and protecting privacy. Not because we feel unsafe, but because the adults are not because we just feel unsafe, but because the adults won't stand up for us. Today we come to Raleigh to ask the lawmakers to protect us.
Hi, my name is Sophia Leonard. I'm also a ninth grader at Mount Pleasant High School. And I'm also here to talk about the women's safety concerns in locker rooms and bathrooms. Many other schools in our district have also been experiencing this. It's not just Mount Pleasant. Many girls feel unheard and like the people who should be protecting us are not. We went to the principal, and the most she could offer us was an alternate key to a different bathroom that took extra class time to get to. The school board said it was discriminating against trans students to not let them go into their preferred bathroom. But I believe it's discriminating against women to say that our safety is less than their preferences. What it boils down to is that something could escalate and something bad could happen, possibly inappropriate, because right now there's nothing saying that men cannot go in our bathrooms. Let me make this clear though, I am a Jesus follower and I do not condemn putting people down, and I believe that everybody has the right to kindness, and I think that trans students' mental health matters too, but I don't think it should come at the cost of protecting our safety as women. Thank you.
Next, we will hear from Anita Lees. She is an OBGYN and Buncombe County parent of 2 daughters who regularly encounter biological males in female private spaces at their school.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning. I am here today to shed light on policies and procedures in North Carolina public schools which are putting our daughters at risk. My twin daughters attend Buncombe County schools, where in November of 2017, the gender support guidelines were passed by the school board. This policy allows students into restrooms and locker rooms based on gender identity as opposed to biological sex. My daughters commonly encounter male students in their restrooms at high school. I'd like you to put yourself in their shoes for a minute. You have been told throughout your life to look both ways when you cross the road, to swim with a buddy, not to go out alone at night. In other words, avoid situations which increase your risk of self-harm. Now your school board, school administrators, and teachers are telling you to ignore your internal sense of safety and go into restrooms or locker rooms with a male who identifies as a female. Furthermore, you are not a consenting adult. As a minor, the policymakers are forcing this situation upon you. Policies like the gender support guidelines are a problem for several reasons. It is a violation of personal privacy. These young women are being told to ignore their discomfort and the alarm bells going off in their heads because the adults in the room have decided that they should accept the situation as normal. The adults have decided that the desires of the male students who want entrance into girls' private spaces supersede their desire for privacy and safety. It is discrimination. You may ask what solution was provided by the school for girls like my daughters who were not comfortable with the situation. We were told that the girls could use the single solo facility at the front of the school by the administration offices. This solo facility is too far for my girls to get to and return to class on time. Furthermore, there are approximately 600 female students at A.C. Reynolds High School. It is not reasonable to expect all the female students who are not comfortable sharing a restroom with a male student to share a single solo facility. Many of these board members would look back on a time in our nation's history with disgust when Black and brown employees or women had fewer or faraway restrooms at their places of employment, but cannot recognize when school policies, which they themselves have voted for, clearly discriminate against female students who do not want to be forced to share restroom space with a biological male. It is a Title IX violation. Allowing biological males into restrooms and locker rooms designated for females denies female students equal opportunities to benefit from the school environment as required by Title IX in favor of male students who desire to use female intimate spaces. It places women at increased risk of sexual assault. These guidelines do not protect the rights of all students. These guidelines do not protect my daughters and their friends. Bathrooms are often places of sexual assault of women and children. There are many examples, such as Virginia judge finds transgender teen guilty of sexual assault in Loudoun County High School girls' bathroom. Oklahoma transgender student charged with assaulting female high school classmates in bathroom. Transgender Wyoming woman convicted of sexually assaulting 10-year-old girl in bathroom. Transgender student flashed 4 freshman girls in their locker room after a swim class in Wisconsin. In an effort to remove the gender support guidelines, I spoke at the Buncombe County School Board meeting. I then followed up with an email to the Director of Student Services and received no response. At a later date, I met with the superintendent to again request that students be permitted into restrooms and locker rooms based on biological sex, not gender identity. Finally, after the current administration recognized the 2020 version of Title IX, I sent an email to the superintendent and all board members explaining that the gender support guidelines were in violation of Title IX. To date, the only change made to the gender support guidelines was required by House Bill 805, which states that students in grades kindergarten through 12th grade must be assigned to overnight accommodations based on biological sex, not gender identity. Previously, the gender support guidelines allowed for assignment of overnight accommodations based on gender identity. I bring this to your attention to emphasize the fact that the school board will only change the gender support guidelines if required by law. I am asking the North Carolina legislators to step up and protect our daughters. These young women are not consenting adults. The school boards are ignoring their desire for privacy. They are ignoring the Title IX violations, the discrimination, and the increased risk of sexual assault. These young women are being forced into unsafe situations. I am asking the North Carolina legislature to force school boards to protect the privacy and safety of young women. Please see the dangerous situation that this creates for women and fix it. Through legislation, our lawmakers can mandate that the privacy and safety of women be protected.
Thank you, Anita. Now we will hear from Precia Mosley. Prisha is a detransitioner whose body was permanently altered by medical professionals starting at 16 years old. Prisha is also the plaintiff in a first-of-its-kind medical malpractice case for gender transition interventions that is coming before the North Carolina Court of Appeals. Thank you for being with us today, Prisha.
Hello, my name is Prisha Mosley. I'm a detransitioner and hello, that's better. My name is Prisha Mosley. I'm a detransitioner and now I'm a mother too, with a beautiful daughter and a son to protect. I'm happy to be here in North Carolina today to stand up for those who are younger than me and who continue to believe the lies that I used to believe. I was transitioned in the state of North Carolina about 10 years ago. When I was about 16 years old, I began my social transition. Social transition is not a harmless act. Social transition leads to the permanent medicalization that plagues my body now. I'm suffering from lifelong irreversible consequences because of the hormones and surgery that I was given when I was a teenager, and I didn't know better, but the harm didn't start with the hormones and the surgery. There are no trans kids going into the bathrooms at school because there are no trans kids. There are males going into the girls' bathrooms and females, like I was, being told it's safe in the male bathroom. But no child is born in the wrong body. No child benefits from being lied to and told that they're able to change sex, or that their brains are trapped in bodies, and that being female or male is a disease that needs to be treated with lies, with hormones, and with surgery. And to the protesters in the crowd calling us bigots, these beautiful little girls over here and the young high school girls who are standing up for their own spaces are not bigots. They deserve to be protected in their spaces from other children whose parents, medical professionals, the media, and others are lying to. And for the boys who are being allowed in girls' bathrooms, they're victims too, because they're also being lied to. Often they're given permission to go into opposite-sex bathrooms without their parents' permission, and their parents know better, or worse, their parents are lying to them too, and setting them up down the path that I went down of irreversible medicalization and an impossible dream that you wake up into a nightmare. No one can change sex. Telling children that they were born in the wrong body is child abuse, and girls and women standing up for their own spaces is not bigotry. Thank you.
Thank you, Prisha. Thank you all for being here today to hear from girls and women across our state about the dangers of biological males being allowed to enter female private spaces in our schools. There have been reported cases of biological males entering female private spaces in public schools across our state, including in Asheville City Schools, Buncombe County Schools, Wake County Schools, Union County Schools, and Cabarrus County Schools. Many girls and families have chosen to endure this loss of safety and privacy in silence because they fear the social backlash for speaking out against it. Just last week, we shared on social media a video of a girl named Trista Ruck from Cox Mill High School in Cabarrus County who encountered a male in the female bathroom at school. Since speaking out publicly, she has been bullied, she has been threatened online and in her community, all for simply saying that she feels uncomfortable entering the girls' bathroom at her school. The cruelty that she has endured is deepening the pain and the injustice of the current situation. Remember, we are talking about 15-year-old girls here. Last week, I spoke with a 12th grader from Concord High School who told me that she was reaching out to me because a boy was regularly entering the bathroom in her high school and looking through the cracks in the stalls at she and her friends. Last week, we also had reports of males entering the female bathrooms and exposing themselves to female students. We are also aware of one report of a sexual assault in Buncombe County High School, although the family does not want to come forward. Crimes are occurring in our bathrooms. We cannot leave our children in this situation, and it must stop. I want to be very clear. Allowing students to access the opposite sex bathroom is harmful for all involved. Gender-confused students deserve care and compassion, but allowing them to access the opposite sex bathroom only adds more chaos and confusion to their lives. Addie, Lila, and Sophia, who spoke earlier, have made the brave decision to stand up for themselves and their friends by coming to Raleigh today to tell lawmakers and members of the press how it feels to be forced to share their bathrooms and their locker rooms with boys at school. You all heard what they said. They said it makes them feel afraid. These girls should not have to ask for their privacy and safety at school. They should be thinking about homework. They should be thinking about soccer practice. They should be thinking about what movie they want to go see this weekend. But instead, they're here in Raleigh because the adults in their lives have failed to protect them. 21 states and Puerto Rico currently protect girls from biological males in their bathrooms and locker rooms in K-12 schools. 12 of those states provide additional protections in other government-owned buildings. But in North Carolina, our daughters remain unprotected. It's time now for the General Assembly to act to protect our daughters. Thank you for being with us today. We can open it up for questions if you guys would like to ask any questions. We're specifically asking that girls and women be protected in K-12 private spaces, in public schools, in universities, public universities, in rape crisis centers, and in prisons. Would you like to come up here? Can you restate the question, please? People would simply use the bathroom that corresponds with their biological reality. People would be required to use the bathroom that corresponds with biological reality. That is listed on their birth certificate, yes. Okay? I can't hear you, I'm sorry. It's so loud over there. What kind of problems do I see? Well, the loss of privacy. We've had cases where people have girls have told us that boys are looking at them. They are looking through the cracks. Also, we have had cases of reported to us of males exposing themselves in the bathroom. So that's loss of innocence and dignity. And we are concerned about the possibility of sexual assaults occurring. We know that happened in Loudoun County. It's not impossible. There are other cases of this happening, and we shouldn't be putting our children in situations where this could occur. Say that again. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear it. Yes. Our lobbyists have been in touch with members of the House and Senate about legislation to address this problem. Yes. Any other questions? All right. Thank you.